YouTube, y'all, we come with the most disturbing images hidden in video games, bro. This finna be the craziest video I ever watched because one, I love games, and plus, I like horror too, just a little bit, not too much, but just a little bit. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Welcome new subscribers, new people. Let's get into it. This probably finna be one of my favorite videos. Offered.
Sonic CD was the third installment of the Sonic the Hedgehog saga.
I played this.
It was released in 1993 for the Sega CD console and is often referred to as one of the best games in the Sonic franchise. The game's soundtrack, graphics, and cutscenes make it an instant classic among 90s video games, but there's another reason why the game got so much attention. Shortly after its release, strange rumors started circulating on messaging platforms such as Internet Relay Chat and Usenet. These platforms were obviously not as developed as the messaging apps and online forums that we use today, but because the internet was still very young, these platforms were ideal for gamers wanting to connect with an online community. According to the rumors, a series of hidden passwords could give the players access to secret images and messages within the game.
What?
Pretty soon, people started using these passwords and found something disturbing. When the game opened on the title screen, by pressing the button combinations down, 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 left, right, A on the controller, players would be taken to a sound test screen where they could experiment with different number combinations to hear music and sounds from the game's soundtrack.
Okay.
Most of the number combinations brought up normal sounds and music from the game, but one specific combination would take the player somewhere completely different. Many users reported that after typing in the numbers 46, 12, 25, or just 12, 25 in some versions of the game, the screen would change to a background consisting of rows and rows of Sonics with creepy human-like faces wagging their fingers. This is what it would look and sound like.
Alright, let me prepare myself. Okay. Oh, man, this shit ain't that bad. This ain't that bad. It ain't that bad. No.
Part of what makes this screen so unsettling is the creepy music and sinister laughter in the background. In the foreground, there's a message written in Japanese on the screen.
What is it?
When translated to English, the message reads, "Infinite Fun, Sega Enterprises, image by Majin." According to several articles and comments in the online forums from back then, the word Majin translates from Japanese to devil, which freaked out a lot of people.
What?
It wasn't until much later that people started realizing that there might have been a mistranslation, and that there might be more to this unsettling image than everyone thought. It turns out the word Majin can mean devil, but it's really a word that refers to any supernatural being that uses magic, including genies, sorcerers, and demons. But in this context, it means none of these things, and it's actually just a nickname. Majin is the childhood nickname of Masato Nishimura, the landscape designer of the game and the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog in Sonic CD. According to expert translators, calling Masato Majin would be similar to mispronouncing your friend Sean's name as Scene as a joke. The name was used as a play on words, confusing users into thinking that the message on the secret screen was signed by the devil. As for the creepy, human-like Sonic figure in the image, it turns out that it's a cartoon of Masato Nishimura's face, and the unsettling music is just the final boss music from the American version of Sonic CD. In the Japanese and European versions of the game, the secret screen could still be accessed, but the music was much less eerie.
What the? Nah, that's worse than me.
Notice the complete difference in atmosphere when the music is more upbeat. And this wasn't the only time that Nishimura signed his name in the games he helped design. In the game Shenmue, which came out in the year 2000 in the US, he signed using the same nickname throughout various parts of the game, and later claimed in an interview that he did it because he liked to stand out. Although the secret screen probably wasn't meant to scare anyone, the off-putting, human-like Sonic, the mistranslated message, and the jarring music definitely disturbed a few people.
I'm alright. I think he knew what he was doing, you know. Playing with books.
Otaho no Tatari is a classic Japanese RPG indie horror game that came out in 2011 and was developed using RPG Maker, a program made for users to experiment with and make their own RPG games.
Okay.
Many classic games in multiple genres have been made with RPG Maker, including Skyborn, Off, To the Moon, and Corpse Party. Utaho no Tatari, which roughly translates to The Curse of Utaho, follows the story of a young girl who loses her family under very strange circumstances and must unravel the mystery by exploring a haunted mansion and finding the clues that her little sister left behind. Although the game became pretty popular in Japan, it was never really marketed in the US. Because the game was never officially translated and a US version was never released, a lot of people haven't even heard of Utaho no Tatari. The game is filled with unsettling images of real-life corpses and disturbing faces, which pop up at random times of the story to scare the user.
The fuck?
Of course, being a horror game, jump scares and creepy images should be expected, but there's one particular screen that has terrified users since the game's release. In 2014, a user reported that he found a glitch that he wasn't sure was a part of the game.
Okay, stop tripping.
In a video that he uploaded to YouTube, the player walks around the perimeter of what appears to be a shrine in one of the game's locations. Out of nowhere, an error glitch appears on the screen. The message is a seemingly meaningless mess of jumbled up letters from the Roman alphabet and the Japanese alphabet, along with a bunch of numbers and random symbols. Only by changing the system locale to Japan do the letters in the error message start to make a bit more sense.
Okay.
The glitch is still there, but the Japanese text is now legible. According to some users who tried to translate the game, the text is a collection of disturbing messages mixed in with random, generic error codes. But there was more to the glitch than just an error message. This is gameplay footage of one user who ran into the glitch during one of his playthroughs.
Okay. Lock in, Brandon. Bro, what is this? Bro, hell no. Nigga. Stop playing with me, bro. Stop playing with me, bro. Cut, bro. I gotta stop pausing, bro. Lock in, bro. Stop being the bitch, bro. Lock in, bro. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, you better stop flashing this shit. Hey there. How you doing?
A few seconds after the glitch, an eerie noise can be heard, and the chilling image of what appears to be the lifeless body of a woman pops up on the screen.
Like this real life?
The first user to post about this glitch was understandably terrified.
Hell yeah.
Disturbingly, once this screen appears, the only way to get rid of it is by exiting the game. It's unknown where this image came from, and it was never confirmed whether or not this is an image of an actual deceased person. The image can't be found anywhere else in the game, and because it appears randomly after an error message, most users thought that the glitch wasn't designed as a part of the game. For a while, nobody could understand why this chilling image appeared on the screen, until one user spent some time exploring the game files and found that it's actually not a glitch at all. According to Borzoi Appreciator, if you walk through the 3 gates on the side of the shrine, an event will trigger after a few seconds that calls a fake crash message and then pulls up that image. It's a hard-coded feature, and that image is supposed to shut down with the game after 10,000 seconds. In the game files, the image is titled Yaboi, which roughly translates from Japanese to dangerous. Yaboi is an expression of awe or admiration, similar to the words wild or insane in English, meaning it could be used both positively or negatively.
That's negative.
In this case, it's unknown whether the name of the image holds any significance. Since it was discovered, many players have referred to this crash screen as one of the most terrifying jump scares in RPG history.
I thought this was gonna be fun.
Little Big Planet is an extremely popular puzzle platform video game series that features 10 million user-generated levels, 3 main console games, 2 handheld games, and 4 spin-offs.
Yes, sir.
With a big emphasis on user-generated content, Little Big Planet was created under Sony's concept of play, create, share, and the games are all about guiding Sackboy and his friends on their adventures as they explore millions of user-generated worlds. Because the games are made for kids and are played by millions of children around the world, you wouldn't expect to find anything disturbing or creepy in Little Big Planet that could potentially upset a young audience.
Yeah.
But the games actually feature a surprising amount of Easter eggs that have intrigued players for decades, some of which are definitely a little eerie. In 2019, a 2008 PlayStation 3 development kit featuring an early prototype build of Little Big Planet 1 was publicly made available online. Less than 1 year later, a group of Discord users reported that hidden within the developer profiles located in the developer kit, they found this cutout of a bloody man with its arms sticking out and the bones of his hands visible. With the oddly shaped eyes, the disfigured face, and the splashes of blood all over the body, the image itself is pretty disturbing. What's even stranger is that to this day, nobody knows what this image was even doing inside the development build for Little Big Planet. Due to the graphic and unsettling nature of the cutout, it's unlikely that the bloody man would have made it to the final version of the game. Unless, of course, it was meant to be used as a first draft, or as an idea for a more child-friendly object or secondary character in the game. But the easily visible bloodstains make this an unlikely theory. Regardless of its purpose, it's unlikely that anybody will ever find out why or even how this image of a deformed, bloody man made it into the development kit for a kid's game. The files that reference the bloody man have been completely erased, adding to the mystery of this disturbing, unused object.
Interesting. Sonny, what you up to?
Race with Ryan is a kids multiplayer racing game based on the massively popular YouTube channel Ryan's World, which has over 35 million subscribers. The videos feature 11-year-old Ryan Kaji, his mother, father, and twin sisters. Formerly Ryan's Toys Reviews, Ryan's World is a mashup of unboxing and personal vlog videos that has gained over 55 billion total views, and in 2018 Ryan was listed as the highest paid YouTuber in the world, thanks to his revenues from YouTube, the family's licensed merchandise, and Ryan's TV shows. In 2019, Race with Ryan was released as the first official licensed game from the Ryan's World empire, and was well received by the channel's fans. Race with Ryan was marketed as a fun, innocent multiplayer game for a very young audience, which makes sense considering the YouTube channel is geared towards children from ages 2 to 6. But one user found something incredibly disturbing hidden in the game's files. In 2019, a Twitter user by the name of Tiniest Turtles posted this image, reporting that he had found the texture while digging around in the files of Race with Ryan out of curiosity. The image shows a cartoon face crying bloody tears with its eyes and mouth sewn shut. The image itself isn't the scariest thing on the internet by any means, but what makes it unsettling is the fact that the face in the image is the face of Ryan's character in the game, which of course is based on the real 11-year-old Ryan Kaji. Because the developers refused to comment on the image, the disturbing texture caused a lot of speculation in online communities, and pretty soon people started coming up with theories and possible explanations for the chilling image. As far as anyone can tell, the image can't be found or triggered in the game itself. The bloody texture was just hidden in the game files along with other less disturbing textures that would have been used to modify Ryan's face and reaction based on certain events during a race in the game. Some users have commented that the textures were created by a burned-out, annoyed developer as a way of blowing off steam and managing the stress of developing a video game from scratch. Or that the texture was just a placeholder made to experiment with the animation of Ryan's face taking damage during a race. Other people have speculated that the developers made the texture for fun after they had finished developing all the other textures they would need. Because the image was relatively easy to find in the game files, it's possible that the artist put it there on purpose as a marketing gag. It was never likely that the Race with Ryan would match the popularity and fame of classic karting games like Mario Kart, and the developers may have included the unsettling texture as a way to bring more attention to the game. But this theory is shaky, again considering that this is a kid's game, and therefore the main audience they'd want to market to would be very young children. Because of how graphic the image is, other users suspect that there is actually something much more sinister going on. According to one popular conspiracy theory, the bloody texture is Ryan's call for help to the world. Because the stitched face looks like a doll's face, people have speculated that Ryan asked the developer to put the image in the files to represent how he's being used like a doll to make his parents money. Of course, this theory is very far-fetched, but even if it's not true, the texture is still incredibly creepy and seems completely out of place in a game that was intended for very young children. Valhalla is described by fans as a cyberpunk bartender action game that revolves around a bartender simulator. In a dystopian world where nanomachines have infected humans and the human race is being oppressed, the user plays the role of a bartender in a small downtown bar named Valhalla. Part of what makes Valhalla interesting and so popular among its fans is the game's plot changes depending on the types of drinks that you make for your clients, which makes the game an interesting cross between a visual novel and a bartender simulator. As is often the case with video games, some users decided to explore and dig around in the game's files, and pretty soon people started finding a folder named Answer, which contained only one image labeled Her. Upon opening it, a blue-haired woman can be seen standing on a dark, empty street with her back to the user, facing a strange shadow figure in the distance. Eerily, this image is not a reference to anything in the game, and it doesn't even look like it fits into the storyline in any way. The aesthetic of Valhalla is based around 2D retro pixel graphics, and this 3D image is completely out of place in the context of the game and its files. In 2017, one user mentioned the game developers in a tweet, assuming that the image was meant to be a teaser or a marketing stunt for another game. But disturbingly, the developers replied to the post with the message, "People keep finding these images in the game's folders, and we have no idea why. It might be spyware." Spyware is a type of software that's installed on a computer without the user's knowledge to gain private information about the user without consent and then sent to another organization or person. According to the developers of Valhalla, it's possible that the images found in the files could have been planted there with malicious intentions by somebody else. Strangely, the image labeled Her wasn't the only eerie discovery that fans of Valhalla made in the folders. Throughout the game's files, users found images of weird creatures and dark silhouettes, and even files with creepy music. Despite the developers' warning about the files possibly containing spyware, most users' conclusion was that this was in fact just a marketing gag for Nirvana, a game made by the same creators that was supposed to be released in 2022, but got pushed back indefinitely after the developers started working on other projects. It was never 100% confirmed whether the bizarre images and random files were meant to create buzz around another game, or if they were placed there for another reason.
Nah. The most disturbing was that RPG, but that whole look damn near real. But I thought I was looking at a person for real. I thought this was gonna be like a little chill, like, oh my god, look at this disturbing. Look, like, I don't know. I didn't expect this. I can't say that. I did not expect any of this. I think what I expected was little stuff like this, like the little few that we like had that wasn't so bad. Oh, like that RPG threw me off. Like, yeah. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I love y'all. Stay safe. Don't go looking in anywhere you ain't supposed to be. Look, hey, I think that's the lesson that we got from this video. Stay safe. See y'all later. We out.